Hello, and welcome to the Market for Ideas channel. Today, we'll talk about Pride Month. Notice it's not Pride Day or week, not even a simple fortnight, but a whole month. There's really all that much to celebrate. Nothing exemplifies better the left's divorce from reality and subsequent marriage to corporate cronyism than so called Pride Month. Like Pavlov's dogs, we have been conditioned to expect a rainbow colored tornado of rent seeking brands vying to outpride each other every June. The clunkiness of the event is both mind boggling and embarrassing. The 9 to 5 white and blue collar workers, the single mother deep in student debt, the chronically unemployed opioid addict, we all walk around very confused under a sea of colorful banners. What has been celebrated here? What is the meaning? Is there a reason for this season? How does this make people's lives better? The thing is, this is not a rainbow colored sea, it is a rainbow colored desert. Not a literal one, but a desert of ideas and meaning. In the absence of true purpose that brings the civic and religious holidays to life, Pride Month had to be backfilled by corporate marketing departments and media talking heads in a failed attempt to provide it with meaning. And that's why this is so unconvincing. Such a backwards effort, unsurprisingly, has become the flagship event for stakeholder capitalism. You will want nothing and you'll be happy. Remember that? And that's precisely what comes wrapped in the colors of the rainbow. See, the corporates promoting and profiting off the LGBT community are not in any way, shape, or form interested in the underlying well being of that community. That should come as no surprise to anyone, and that should really raise question marks as to what is left to be celebrated after the glitter and the music of questionable taste are gone. But you don't know about Stonewall, you ignorant author. Well, I know Stonewall was sold by the media in Hollywood as the struggle that marked the beginning of a rich and beautiful journey for acceptance and equality, even if such journey has no clear path or destination. I also know that before big corporate interests took over, Stonewall was known as the 4 nights of rioting that followed the commotion over Judy Garland's death. Irrespective of that, 50 years later, it is crystal clear that it was not the overthrow the government or capitalism in the name of equality type of rebellion, but the let's use the combined forces of government and capitalism to push our agenda type of rebellion. The journey seems to be more about finding out how to better use the levers of corporate greed and government overreach to the benefit of a particular agenda. Much like when Augustus Caesar commissioned Virgil to write the Aeneid and reset the founding myth of Rome as a way to achieve a new balance of power, the left used Stonewall to rewrite their origins, shedding the old class struggle and workers' party skin to start off fresh, transitioning into the new social justice warrior left that uses they, their pronouns and can only thrive in safe spaces. We can argue as much as we want about what Stonewall was really all about. But you know what won't change? Corporates won't care. They don't care about it. It is not about whatever it was about anymore. It is about kicking off the dopamine and release the colorful catharsis that gets the Benjamins flowing. Pride is indeed a commodified, pasteurized, and homogenized event, painstakingly designed to be released in large scale throughout the globe and harvest that pink money. And as it happens with all big business, political system has weaponized it to get a cut of that, as well as to further polarize the population. Well, selectivism might not be perfect, but it's helpful, you might say. Well, is it helpful though? Does this sort of commodified corporate awareness result in tangible benefits for the LGBT community? Let's look at the example of the aptly named Gilead. Gilead is one of the proud sponsors of New York City's Pride event. As Vox reports, Gilead is the pharmaceutical company that makes the pill Truvada for PrEP, or pre-exposure prophylaxis, a medication regimen that, when taken daily, can reduce the risk of HIV from sex by over 90%. Without insurance, PrP costs us over $2,000 per month. With insurance and a coupon card from Gilead, that goes down to zero. The problem is that communities where PrEP can have the greatest effect aren't getting the drug because the people in those communities often cannot afford insurance that covers it. Fox also reports that gay and bisexual black men have a higher HIV rate in the US than in any other country in the world, and the CDC informs that most new HIV diagnoses among men were attributed to male sexual contact. So not only Gilead profits off pink money, they go further and effectively make sure to extract every last penny of the most at-risk members of the community. At least every June, they come out strong wishing a happy pride to everyone. Check their Twitter profile. A cynic is a man who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing. reminds us Irish poet Oscar Wilde, but we don't need to go back 150 years in time to be reminded of that. Politicians on parade, waving to the crowd as if they could almost taste all those single issue voters that would vote for them in next election, are a pretty powerful reminder of what Pride Month is all about. In case the penny hasn't dropped yet, it is a celebration of corporation greed fueled by overpaid marketing managers and HR paper pushers armed to the teeth with assault grade gender studies degrees and high capacity purple hair dye magazines. It was conceived as a new type of tax or toll. Just like you're obliged to watch ads on YouTube before you can get to your videos, every June you have to consume propaganda while in line to get a burger or when reading your news on Twitter. We get the worst of both worlds, savage capitalism meets communism. No better mix to get a generation that is doomed by unsurmountable debt due to poor career choices and cursed with inflation spiraling out of control to keep spending in good conscience. But this money that feels so good to spend is doing no good, not saving lives or improving the conditions of the less well to do. It is lining the pockets of corporate fat cats and creating a feeding frenzy for politicians starving for your attention. It is an empty, barren, and void use of human action, a self fulfilling nihilistic prophecy. But it exists because it is useful to the system. That's not new or revolutionary. That's actually the oldest trick in the book. As Roman poet Juvenal reminds us, already long ago, from when we sold our vote to no man, the people have abdicated our duties, for the people now restrains itself and anxiously hopes for just two things: bread and circuses. Thanks for watching. I hope this was worth your time. If you have interest in more content like this, please subscribe, turn on the notifications, and share. Have a good one.